Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Well, a form of Mike Beer. His power has been knocked out of the palatial estate in Staten Island, but he's a trooper. He's on the phone for the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup Stakes preview. Race number 9, mile and an eighth on the lawn. 3-year-old fillies. Remember to get those Keeneland clocker reports available on DRF.com, led by Mike Welsh and his expert team of clockers. They grade each morning workout leading up to these major races, a perfect complement to your DRF past performances. Head on over to DRF.com/Keeneland for all of the terms and conditions. Here's the field for the QE2 Cup. Chad Brown's got the morning line favorite, the 3, Caffe Park, but you've got several Europeans in this race, and you've got a very talented runner trained by Graham Motion named Varenka. We're going to take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector for this field, Mike, and Princessa Carolina is on the early lead, and Princessa Carolina can make the lead. We saw her go gate to wire in a very slow-paced race at Keeneland during the spring meeting, but last time out she came from next to last. This pace is curious at best.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because I guess certainly she could go to the lead. I think one of Chad's other horses, maybe you'll see Regal Glory come out of there running from the outside, but this pace scenario is murky at best.
One horse that's not going to the lead is the number 1 Lady Prancelat. She has made her money as a one-run closer. Last time out in the Jockey Club Oaks, I think 2 things went against her. A, she doesn't want any part of a mile and 3/8. B, there was no pace for her to run at. Lady Prancelat turns back in distance, and if somehow she gets some pace, she's okay with a late run. I'm just not sure she's the best closer in this field.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this race is going to set up great for her. I think you're right. There's probably a couple of better closers than her, too. A lot working against this horse.
Kelsey's Cross, the number 2, is a bit underrated. I know you've always been a fan of hers, and she was good enough to be 3rd in the Saratoga Oaks 2 starts back before the unfortunately injured Concrete Rose, who was dominating this division before she got hurt. She dropped out of that race at Gulfstream last time out. She was 11-10. The jock kept her 3-4 wide throughout. She's in the red cap on the outside, about to make the lead, and she has to work in here, but I thought all things considered, it was a solid enough prep. She's just a little bit slow on paper.
Yeah, they rode her like a heavy favorite in there, kept her basically 4 wide throughout. She didn't win it impressively. There was never really a point where it looked like she was going to lose, though, either. You know, she's pretty good, Dan. I still feel like a race like this is probably a little too tough for her.
Morning line favorite, Caffe Park, 8-5 for Chad Brown, 7-figure yearling purchase, who looks like she's finally getting it all together. Here's her score in the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks last time out. She got a very fast pace. John Velasquez has her in the red cap all the way on the outside. And as you can see, she's a big, imposing filly that's going to come with a late run. This pace fell apart. Lady Prancelat's going to come up and finish 3rd in here. But all things considered, a likable effort from Caffe Park. And really the key to her is her versatility. She doesn't need to come from far back. And I think that's key in here. She's going to get a good spot a la that Wonder Again 3-back.
Yeah, she can get a really good trip in this race. That's to her advantage. You know, listen, she's pretty good. I thought her Del Mar Oaks was fine. She got a really good trip in that race, but she was also much the best. I'm not going to knock her, Dan. I'm just, you know, she's not the kind of filly I'd be looking to take a short price on.
Princessa Carolina, very well-bred daughter of Tappet, got it done last time out in the rich Dueling Grounds Oaks at Kentucky Downs, and I like the way she did it. She's the gray on the outside, and when she's set down as they pass the quarter pole, she's just going to sweep by this field. This is a very likable performance. Now, certainly she's facing weaker competition, and she was beaten by horses like Caffe Americano and Caffe Park earlier this year. But if Timeform US is right and she can make the lead, maybe they'll leave her alone. I think Jose Ortiz realizes what a versatile and talented filly he has under her.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think she can get a good trip in this race. I liked her last win. I thought she looked really good winning it. I don't know what it means as she steps up to face some better horses. So we'll see if she can just up her game a little bit. She got absolutely steamrolled by Caffe Americano 2 starts back in the pucker up. But maybe the trip will be better for this horse than it will be for that one.
The 5 Castle Lady has done a lot in a short amount of time. Just consider that from March 14th to May 12th, she went from unraced maiden to classic winner. She won the French 1,000 Guineas, 2 starts back over soft ground going a mile. Last time out in the Coronation Stakes, she caught a good field. The 3rd place horse came back to run 3rd in a Group 3. The 4th place horse came back to win a listed stakes. I think this extra distance is going to work for her. She's by Chamardal out of a half to Ravens Pass.
Yeah, she has plenty of pedigree. I don't think you should worry about the distance with her. They did step her up into a tougher race last time, and she was really no match, but she was also a little bit farther off the pace than she had been in her prior three starts. That's one good thing to take note of with this horse. She has kept pretty close to the pace in her first three wins over there, so maybe she can get a good trip in this race.
The 6 Caffe Americano, also trained by Chad Brown. She's won 3 of 4. The only hiccup came when she was thrown to the Wolves in the Belmont Oaks in only her 3rd lifetime start. She rebounded off that race very nicely to win the Pucker Up. She just rallied right by that field to win, beating 2 next out winners and earning the first legitimate fig in her career, an 88 buyer. Her lack of early speed could work against her, and remember, on Arlington Million weekend, Chad was winning everything.
That's true. Chad was on quite a roll that day, that's for sure. This filly looks pretty good, though. I mean, even in her first 2 wins, you could tell she was just sort of getting it done on talent alone. She was just a work in progress. She really, I thought, took a step forward in the Pucker Up. I don't know, Dan. I think she's pretty dangerous in here, and she should be a good price.
The 7 Magnetic Charm was not exactly group class in Europe, but she showed me something 3 back in the Sandringham Stakes, second in a 27-horse field, and the winner of that race was in receipt of 21 pounds for this filly. Last time out, she got the weight break in the Canadian Stakes as a 3-year-old filly against older. She was 9 pounds. She was getting 9 pounds from Starship Jubilee. She also had no pace to run at. She was last on the rail. She's in the Red Silks right now. She's going to split and run second. I think this filly is finding herself for a very, very good barn, and unfortunately, she just catches a race with no pace again, seemingly.
Yeah, it feels like this race isn't going to set up all that much better for her. I think she was okay in Europe. She did run pretty well last time, considering the dynamics, although, you know, she was never a real threat in that race. She makes some sense in this race, Dan, and she's a good price on the morning line.
The 8 and the 9, Varenka and Regal Glory, exit a dead heat in the Grade 2 Lake Placid Stakes. It was a race with no pace, run in a driving rainstorm. I think Varenka ran slightly better because she came from way off of the pace. She's on the far outside. But let's not give short shrift to Regal Glory, who's directly inside of her, and they're just going to fight and throw it down the last 16th of a mile. Regal Glory, Varenka, noses on the wire. It's a dead heat. Varenka kicks like a mule. Regal Glory has more tactical speed. So I guess in this race shape scenario, advantage Regal Glory. But after what we've seen from Varenka in 3 of her 4 starts this year, I never want to count her out. She has a powerful, powerful rally.
Yeah, she really does. You know, we'll see if the pace gets her beaten here. It didn't get her beat last time. Regal Glory is a really nice horse. I think she's underrated. I have no knocks on that filly. She's really good, and she should get a good trip in this race. But Varenka just feels like she's getting better with every race that they run her in, and I thought she ran great last time.
And that's where you went as we take a look at our top selections for the QE2. 6-1 on the morning line. Javier Castellano regains the mount. You're going with Varenka. I think Cambier Park's going to get a great tactical situation here, sitting 2nd or 3rd off of Regal Glory. And heck, you know something? I'd actually send this horse if I was John Velasquez. If anyone else wants to take the lead, great. But if I felt that I was riding the favorite and the best horse, why not try to make the front? She has it in her.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think they probably should do that with her. I don't want to sit here and say like I'm way against Cambier Park. I'm just not a huge fan of hers, and I don't want her at a short price. So I'm going to play against her in this race. I went 8, 5, 6, and 3.
I'm going 3, 5, 7, and 6 in the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup, the feature race at Keeneland on Saturday. Race number 9 is an approximate post of 5:30 Eastern. Best of luck.